Hello.
So we are going to discuss about the food preservation, especially by using chemicals. So today's topic
So
is food
today's topic is
preservation
food
by
preservation
chemical
by
methods.
chemical methods.
Why sound is
Why
repeating?
sound is repeating?
आप अपने म्यूट
आप
कर
अपने
लो आप सब
म्यूट
सारे
कर लो
लोग.
आप सब सारे लोग.
हेलो.
हेलो.
So food preservation by using chemical methods. So chemical food preservation or the chemical food preservatives are the substances which are used in different type of food items just for delaying the growth of microorganisms with or without destroying them, or by doing this it just prevent deterioration of quality during manufacturing operation as well as distribution of that particular food item. So this type of chemical preservatives includes natural food constituents, which when added to food, it simply retard or prevent the growth of microorganisms. What we were doing previously, people were using different type of sugar in jam, jellies, and different type of candies and different type of fruit juices. Thereafter, uh, people have started using different kind of salt and vinegar, especially for alcohol production and in different preparation of different type of pickles. There- Thereafter, people have started using some foreign materials in food item just to prevent the growth of different type of microorganisms. And a long list of chemical compounds are added in food and they are classified as antioxidants, bleaching agent, acidulant, then neutralizers, stabilizers, and sometimes people are using forming agent in different type of food item. So it is very important to know about the food deterioration, how it is created, spoilage problem. So it is mainly because of the microorganisms, bacteria, yeast, and mold, and sometimes the food enzymes and other chemicals which are responsible for different kind of reactions within the food itself. And ultimately, it will create abnormal spoilage problem in your food. And sometimes it is because of the infestation by insect, parasite, and rodents. So what is happening in your food item? Generally, gain or loss of moisture, you will observe. So automatically, it will give abnormal texture, abnormal color, or abnormal appearance, or abnormal flavor to your final. Sometimes you are keeping your food item at inappropriate temperature, automatically some kind of deterioration will take place and ultimately it will affect the quality of your product. And what is the main reason of creating such type of abnormal condition in your final product? Sometimes reaction with oxygen or in presence of light. Time is also very important. If you are keeping your product at room temperature for a longer time, ultimately it will create so many abnormal situation. Then physical stress or mishandling of your product is also responsible for different kind of food deterioration. So previously people were using chemical method and they were using different kind of vinegars, sugar and oil for preservation process. And sun drying was also a very popular method in which people were combining this sun drying with salting. Then sometimes they are applying some kind of heat treatment to those products, and boiling and freezing is also combined with those methods to improve the effectiveness of preservation or improving the shelf life of your product. Now FSSAI has classified all the preservatives generally used in different kind of food items in two classes: class 1 preservative and class 2 preservative. So under class 1 preservative, common salt, sugar, dextrose, glucose, spices, then vinegar or acetic acid, honey, edible vegetable oil, these are classified under class 1 preservatives. And in class 2 preservatives, benzoic acid and its salt, sulfurous acid, including its salt, then nitrates of sodium or potassium, then sorbic acid, including its sodium, potassium, and calcium salt, lysine, then propionic acid, including its salt, then methyl or propyl parahydroxybenzoate, sodium diacetate, sodium, potassium, and calcium salt of lactic acid. So these are the chemical preservatives which is classified under class 2 group. And if you are using or selecting class 1 preservative for your food item, there is no limit. That you have to decide that how much quantity you have to add and what is desirable in your product. But when you are using class 2 preservative, it should not combine with some other preservative who is already classified under this class 2. It means two types of class 2 preservatives should not be used in one food item. That is very important, and you have to remember this thing. Now, something about the chemical preservative. So why we are using and what is the specificity of using different kind of chemical preservative. So the purpose of using chemical agent as a preservative is to retard food spoilages, microorganisms which are generally present in your system, either initially present or come during the or contaminate your product during the transportation or collection or handling at your factory premises. Now, as per one estimate of WHO, it was declared that 20% of world food is lost by different type of spoilages. I have already discussed about this thing, that a major portion of food produced throughout the world is spoiled because of different kind of deterioration created by different type of microorganisms. So partial prevention of these spoilages can be achieved through the whatever traditional method we are using, that is refrigeration, drying, freezing, and fermentation. And whatever preservation effect you will get by adopting this method, that can be extended by using some amount of chemical additives in those food items. So just for prolonging the shelf life of your food item, you can additionally use these chemical additives. So how it is affecting the growth of microorganisms and how it is working inside the bacterial cell. And it is mainly because of the interfere with the cell membranes of microorganisms, and it restricts the enzymatic activity, and then the genetic mechanism will be disturbed. And because of that, the cell rupture will be observed in the product, in the system, and ultimately it will improve the shelf life of your food item. Now, Preservatives may also serve as antioxidant, stabilizers, forming agents, and moisture retainer. So if you are using some kind of chemical preservative, you will get this type of effect in your food item. And now it is very important to know that at what stage it should be added in food. So it is whatever chemical substance or chemical preservative you have selected for a particular type of product, depending upon the type and quality and the nature and overall characteristic of that particular food item, it is generally added after the food has been processed and before it is packed. So you have to also remember this particular thing, that it is added after the food has received processing, treatment, and before packaging. Then only you will get a good effect of using these chemical preservatives. So what is happening in case of chemical preservatives? It is used either accidentally or intentionally for centuries, including sodium chloride, sugar, acid, alcohol, and component of smoke. So in addition to preserving our food, these compounds also contribute to the quality, overall quality of the product, and sometimes it is also giving some kind of specificity to your final product. And whatever condition you are giving during processing procedure, such as salting, curing, fermentation, or smoking, that will add some type of a specific character to your final product. So what are the important things when you are selecting chemical preservatives? So traditionally, we were using sugar and salt. Acidulants like benzoic acid, sorbic acid, lactic acids are also used. Then some gaseous chemical food preservatives, uh, leavening agents like sulfur dioxide and sulfides are also used. Then some antioxidant, that is butylated hydroxyanisole, then butylated hydroxytoluene, propyl gallate, natural or synthetic tocopherol, that is also known as vitamin A, vitamin E, and ascorbic acid, that is vitamin C, lecithin. These are also used in different kind of food items. In addition to that, we are also using some kind of color, flavor, additive sweeteners, and emulsifier for giving certain type of characteristic to our food items. Now it is very important to know the site of preservative activity created by these chemicals in microbiological cell. So what are those things? It mainly affects the bacterial cell wall, cytoplasmic membrane, as well as cytoplasm. So what are the different chemicals which affect the cell wall? That is phenols, aryl and alkyl acids, organomercurials, EDTA, then chlorhexidine, cetrimide, so anionic surfactants. So these are the compound when it is present in your food item or you are adding from uh, different sources, and automatically it will affect the cell wall of bacteria, and it will restrict the growth of different kind of contaminating microorganisms. And just by doing that, it will increase or improve the shelf life of that particular food item. Then some chemicals are there which are affecting cytoplasmic membrane. Then some are listed here which will affect the cytoplasm of different microbial cell. So these are the mode of action point of different chemicals where actually it works. So just by going through, you can have idea about the mode of action of different chemical compounds. Now, something about the vegetable oil, one of the well-known thing which people are using in different kind of food item. Vegetable oils consist of monoglyceride, diglyceride, and triglyceride. And something about its action. In pickles, it prevents the entry of microorganisms by forming an impervious layer It also prevents the entry of oxygen and creating anaerobic condition inside that container. So when you are applying some amount of vegetable oil, that will create this kind of condition and ultimately inhibit the growth of contaminating microorganisms or the enzymes present in the system, and ultimately it will create the preservation effect. Now, what are the main activities? Antioxidant activity, antimicrobial activity, insecticidal activity. So these are the different activities created by different kind of vegetable oils, and where we can use these essential oil or whatever extracts you are getting from the different kind of aromatic plants. These can be used as feed additives. You can use in different food industries. Cosmetic industry are also using for manufacturing perfumes and skin product. Then in pharmaceutical industry, for preparation of different kind of medicine, you can use these essential oil. So first one, the pure uh, chemical preservative, that is benzoic acid. Why it is so important and where people are using this uh, benzoic acid? So generally, it is used in form of a sodium salt, and the main preservative effect is created by the sodium benzoate, which people are very frequently using in acid or acidified foods, such as fruit juices, syrup, jam, and jellies, pickles, and different kind of preserves, fruit cocktails, etc. And yeast are inhibited by benzoate to a greater extent if you compare with mold and bacteria. So it is more effective against the yeast, which are generally found in different type of preserved food item. And the greater activity uh, can be observed when your food item have low pH and become ineffective as the pH of your food item increases towards neutral value. And what is the main mode of action of this particular chemical? It also affects microorganisms by inhibiting cellular uptake of substrate molecule. And generally, the stage of endospore germination is the most sensitive to benzoate. And what is the permissible limit? That because whatever chemical you are using, it is very important to know the maximum limit of using these kind of chemicals in your food item. So the maximum permissible limit is 0.1% of your food item. Now, it is used in form of sodium benzoate, I have already explained, and especially used in fruit juices and spices. And the mode of action is again here given. It inhibits the growth of microorganisms by inhibition of action of enzymes that control the acetic acid metabolism and oxidative phosphorylation. It is generally happen for energy production, ATP generation inside your mitochondria. Oxidative formulation, it is if you are using this benzoate, sodium benzoate, automatically it will restrict the oxidative phosphorylation process, and ultimately it inhibits the growth of yeast and mold. So you have to remember this line. That is very important. Where you are using these chemicals, sodium benzoate or benzoic acid, and what are the advantages of this particular chemical? It is used in colored juices and most active against yeast and mold in different food items. Now, second most important chemical is sulfur dioxide. You must have heard about the sulfonation process generally applied for preserving or for maintaining different types of color in different food items. So here in this figure, resin color, here you have used, if people have used this sulfur dioxide gas in resin, automatically you can see the fresh color of this one. And in this side, you can see the dull color of this particular product when you are applying this sulfur dioxide. So it is mainly used in preservation of dried fruits, fruit pulps, juices, and molasses. And it is mainly used, as I said, for conserving color as an antioxidant and control microbial growth. And these sulfur dioxide and its various sulfides dissolve in water and at low pH level yield sulfurous acid, bisulfite, and sulfite ions. And these compounds have a good preservative effect on different type of microorganisms. In the past, what people were doing, they were using this particular sulfur dioxide or sulfides on cut fruits and vegetables in salad bars, where they used to spray or dip different kind of vegetables in a solution of sulfide. And sulfur also showed their effect on enzymatic browning and also responsible for keeping plant tissues fresh for longer period. So it is very important, but when you are exceeding its recommended limit, automatically you will get some kind of asthma problem, and sometimes people sensitive to sulfate, they will experience symptoms like headache, nausea, abdominal pain, and dizziness. So automatically, people having some kind of abnormality, they should not take this type of food item which is preserved with sulfur dioxide or some kind of sulfide. So what are the special features of this? Yeast are less sensitive than mold, acetic acid bacteria, and lactic acid bacteria. Then mold, that is Botrytis species, on grapes are controlled by periodic gassing with sulfur dioxide. In our state, in Muzaffarpur district, where lychee is produced, people are using this particular sulfonation process for preserving your lychee. And bisulfite are also used to destroy aflatoxin in food, especially when it is used in ppm level. So again, what is the mode of action of this sulfur dioxide? How it is affecting the microbial load? So antimicrobial activity is because of the formation of undissociated sulfurous acid or gaseous sulfur dioxide, and it is a strong reducing agent, so it lowers the oxygen tension below the level required by aerobic organisms, and by the direct action on certain enzymes, it inhibits microorganisms present in your food. Metabolites also affects vegetative cell during endospore germination. So if there may be chances of some kind of spores uh, presence in your food item, automatically this will also create inhibitory effect on that. So some are the advantages listed here, and disadvantages is also mentioned here in this. And in this table, I have given the permissible limit of preservatives, especially the sulfur dioxide and the benzoic acid. What is the maximum permissible limit of these two chemicals in different type of food product? So simply you have to go through it and must have some idea about the concentration level, which is generally applied in different kind of food items. The third most important um, compound that is used in food industry, that is nitrates and nitrites. So sodium nitrite and sodium nitrates, uh, it is mainly used in meat curing. It is also helpful in stabilizing pink milk meat color, uh, help to retain its flavor, inhibit spoilage and food poisoning organisms, and also contribute to flavor, a specific type of flavor of different type of meat item. They function as preservatives, and it also helps to prevent the growth of harmful bacteria. And it generally prevents the growth of Clostridium botulinum, responsible for secreting a deadly toxin. You must have idea about these particular microorganisms because they can survive in anaerobic environment and they can grow in that environment, and responsible for creating different kind of canned meat product. So wherever some anaerobic condition is there, and if this type of product is contaminated with this particular microorganism, it will ultimately create abnormal condition and abnormal spoilage problem. So automatically, you should use this particular compound in that type of vacuum packed product. So nitrate